Totally Beverages.
And sometimes hot sauce.
That is a tasty root beer.
Coffee.
Water.
Cerveza.
Mountain Dew.
Beverages.
Beverages hot sauce. Beverages hot sauce.
Welcome to Totally Beverages and Sometimes Hot Sauce, the show that was almost called K-Cups with Roro. I'm here as always with my man, the mustachioed, blue-eyed Barbadian JoJo.
Hell has frozen over. It snowed in Glendale today.
Crazy times. It's wild looking at us in that intro video and then looking at us now. It looks like we've put on some years for some reason.
We were just kids back then.
We were just children. Listen, I think we both look great. It's just striking, though, how different we look.
It is. We were just puffy pandemic babes back then, you know? Just
rosy-cheeked.
It's our first time out in a while, you know? That was fully a year ago, which is like 12 years in dad years.
That is absolutely true. How are you feeling tonight?
Oh, I'm feeling good.
You're looking good.
Oh, thank you so much.
We do have, in a little bit here, a bit of a unicorn, or I don't even know what you would call it, but something that we've been meaning to drink for years.
Oh my God, yes. A Mt Rushmore beverage, if I could say so myself. And I will.
And you will. And we will soon drink the clearly Canadian.
Yes. Oh, Randy, yes. Ned Flanders. Yes, I do look like Ned Flanders. Fair enough.
A classic from my youth. I don't know if it was a part of your youth growing up, but we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Before we get there, though, let's talk about something. We have a big announcement tonight.
We do.
A bit of a bittersweet announcement, if you will. About a year ago, 5 years ago, we took off in this beverage plane. And we flew. Sometimes we flew pretty close to the sun. Sometimes we got wet. Sometimes we saw rainbows. Sometimes, what else did we see? Sometimes we saw dreams coming true. We landed that plane.
Visions of our own death, I think.
Yeah. We landed the plane, and then a year ago, we got back in that plane and we took off again.
That's right. Like Harrison Ford, we got back on the horse and took that plane for one more wild ride.
And what a beautiful flight it has been. But we have decided that we are going to land this plane, TBASH plane. And
extend the metaphor, go.
And we're going to wrap things up with a big blowout episode a month from now. That's right. And we've thought about this a lot, and it feels like the right thing for JoJo and I to do. Does it mean JoJo and I won't be back with some crazy idea someday? No, it doesn't mean that.
No. While it is definitely, I think to be quite clear, it is definitely the end of the TBASH era. It is certainly not goodbye. We like each other doing, just doing this dumb thing and hanging around. Too much for that. But I think, we definitely got more than we could have ever hoped for out of over 200 hours. And I mean, dozens, maybe over 100 guests. I haven't counted. Countless amazing guests. 200 hours of beverage talk.
Thousands of beverages, potentially. If you think of the singles.
Certainly. We've done flights. We've done all kinds of explorations of beverages. Yes. And it's true. It's hard to figure out how to land such a big plane. We're used to single engines, and this is a big 747 we're trying to take down here. But we have a fun plan. And while we've had a lot of fun plans that maybe haven't materialized, that we've thrown some things out there that maybe didn't stick. This is something that, we're going to do, and we need your help to do it.
Yes.
To get there, to get over the final hump. And we're going to give you a month to do it. We're going to do a big blowout on Sunday, April 2nd, 2023 at 4 p.m. Pacific.
Yes.
At 7 p.m. Eastern. And there's a few things. We're going to hit you with some stuff right now.
Let's do it.
If you have ever wanted us to try a Bev, now is the time to drop that thing in the mail. You have until April 2nd to get it to us. If we have by then, we'll take a sip on that show.
You send it, we drink it.
That's right. As long as it's sealed, you know the rules. You email us at totallybeverages@gmail.com or DM us, and we'll send you an address. And the other thing is we want to hear from you on that show. So we hope you'll join us in the live stream. We're talking Randy in the chat tonight. We want you to come on. Peter Harmon, the Lunking Crew, Isis, Matt. There are people we've watched grow up on the show. People have had kids. Well, we have kids that are now school-age children while we've been doing the show.
Yes.
If you want to tell us a little bit of your own beverage story or profile, we're going to have you jump in for a few minutes during that live stream. We want as many of you here as you can. If you can't make that show, then hit us with a video. You can send us a video, or certainly you can send, obviously, that to totallybeverages@gmail.com, but most importantly, send us a voicemail.
You can send us a voicemail. Yeah, so we got three options. We're going to plan some really fun stuff for this blowout episode on April 2nd, 4 p.m. PST. But we would love to connect with some of you guys. Randy, we see you in the chat. It would be a dream come true for us to talk to you live. If you're down. If not, send us a video. If not, leave us a voicemail. And again, send us your bevs. And then we got some all other stuff that we're gonna have planned, and it's just gonna be a ruckus, wild, fun time.
Yes, Gary, Chris, Splee, come on through. We want you. We want you to join us. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
909-295 Cafe.
Gappe. Randy, we see you right now. We are going to cry with you. So, God, I love you, Randy.
I was afraid I was going to cry during this. I'm not going to, though.
It's
how you know it's all right. I can't say how much fun this show is.
Our cuppeth,
and what a lifeline it's been.
Our cuppeth overfloweth manyeth a timeth.
Absolutely.
Because of this showeth.
Yeah. Truth words.
But yeah. So that's our big announcement, and we're excited for the blowout, and to go out with a bang, as they say. Before we dive into our kind of our last official bev, let's just take a quick look at the old vision board. Now, we have made many dreams come true. Actually, let's start with all the dreams we've made come true. That might make more sense. Okay. Oh gosh, the Tapper dreams.
The memories. Look at this.
A buzzball Christmas, an ice machine, a new water bottle for JoJo, Charman hot sauces, Olipop, Jägermeister cold brew. Dreams.
We became Twitch
true.
Affiliates.
Twitch
Can you believe
affiliates. Oh my goodness. Now let's talk about things that we haven't made come true, and maybe we still can come true. Looking at you, Phoebe Cates. Looking at you, Ice-T. Looking at you, Kate Winslet. Looking at you, Ina Garten. Jesus. Now is the time, if you happen to know someone that works in a library or a bookstore that knows Kate Winslet, now is the time to make that connection for us.
If you construct home tiki bars, now is the time to step up.
If you know how to do a PR stunt,
Is this a PR stunt?
now is the time. What else
If
is
you
on here?
can join the live stream and get us to #1 at Food and Drink on Twitch, Sunday, April 2nd, 4 p.m. Pacific
Wow.
is your moment.
That would be what a beautiful thing. Iceman, if we could get the Iceman on the show, if we could get Laura, the Tapper world record holder, on the show. Gosh, the Utah soda place. Maybe
Someone drop one
could
of
take
those.
by
on one
our
of those?
our
Yeah.
Addy. That would be great.
Yeah, Operation Dumbo drop with a soda shop. Get it on over here.
Anyway, send us your bevs, and if you have any ideas how to scratch a few more of these off the vision board, please let us know.
Good God.
Good
So much to do. Such is life, you know?
Mm.
You always could have done a little more. We could be happy with the legacy we're leaving. I'm thrilled to celebrate with everybody.
I am too.
April 2nd is the time.
April 2nd, 4 p.m. PST. Let's go. We'll announce on socials. We'll throw up something in Discord, all this info. We absolutely love you guys. But without further ado, let's get into our last official bev. By no means the last bev we're drinking on this show,
Fuck no.
but our last official bev. Clearly Canadian.
Oh, Canada. This descended from heaven.
Tell me more.
Can I tell you? So you all know I was in Canada in the fall for a work conference situation.
Yeah.
And while I was there, they had Clearly Canadian, just called Clearly up there. They had it in the drugstore, you know, the CVS or whatever it was that I went to.
Sure.
I ripped one. I couldn't not get it.
Ooh.
I had to get the Mountain Berry one. And
Did it
Mountain
cost you a
Blackberry.
couple loonies or toonies? I
couple,
guess?
couple of loonies, a couple of toonies. I threw them in the till, put on my took, and walked back to my hotel drinking that Clearly Canadian. I wanted to pack them so badly, but I couldn't bring myself to. And then I have been seeing them everywhere I turn my head in the last, 2 weeks.
They're
And-
just as calling you.
Calling me. They've been here. They made their way back to the United States. And I found them at Cost Plus World Market. I've seen them at Ralph's grocery store. But World Market had all of the flavs. And I saw them about to load in another pallet. They had them in the fridge up at the front. They had them dry in the back. I think that's what we've always said is what we call shelf temperature, room temperature beverages. We've called them dry.
I'll take it.
Uh-huh.
I'll take it.
And so I got them. I got them all. I dug through a pallet to get one of these flavors that was
Okay.
sold off the shelves. And I would love for you to try to guess which it is, if you can. And a fun fact, these are, I'm double checking now. These
Fuck.
we are
Go
tasting 100% of the currently available production flavors.
You got the whole flight.
The whole fucking flight, dude.
Wild cherry. Ding. Mountain blackberry.
Oh, yeah.
Orchard peach.
Check.
Summer strawberry. Country raspberry.
Bingo, bango.
And sparkling mineral water.
That's right. Now,
They have-
caveat. Go ahead.
Okay.
What were you going to say?
I'm fucking super nervous right now, and I'm going to tell you why.
Go ahead.
I have a memory of these. I can remember these hitting the streets. I was probably in elementary school.
Yes.
and they came in with a bang. They had a moment.
Mm-hmm.
I remember them being delicious. I remember them being kind of similar to maybe like a New York seltzer. I remember them being pretty sweet. What I don't remember them being is anything like LaCroix. So I'm really hoping that this isn't some sort of weird rebrand. I hope these are sugary beverages. And here's another thing. Here's another thing I would say.
Yes.
I'm very curious if these, even just the names, I know wild cherry was a flavor, but are these flavors congruent with the old 90s flavors too? I'm just wondering, are we getting the same shit, or is this some bullshit licensing wannabe reboot? How do I know? And I'm not going to know. We're not going to know in this episode. That's my big question, because I feel like Coca-Cola ended up buying them for a moment. This is not a Coca-Cola jam, though.
No.
But you know what I mean?
I absolutely know what you mean. Yes.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right to be nervous.
Thank you.
Mountain Blackberry was the only one I remember, because I remember that being the one that knocked my socks off as a kid.
Okay, great.
I remember drinking it and it tasted like a real blackberry. You are correct that these are sodas. These have 25 grams of sugar apiece in the bottle, 90 calories, with the exception of we have a little official palate cleanser, and that is the sparkling mineral water. So they're getting into this game. They have a really chaotic Wikipedia. I recommend people just check it out. It has a weird twinge of corporate malice in it. I don't know. So like people have, it feels like people have contributed to it at points when maybe they're upset with, it feels like
how
insiders being like, original management left the company at this year, as though I think it's them who's maybe editing the page and adding those things. But otherwise, no scandal. This is produced in Canada to this day. It is an international beverage. It is not owned by Coca-Cola. Now, let's see. It is certainly, it's been bought and sold, or they've been bought and sold, but they have, the whole thing was there was a pre-sale campaign that started in 2013, that like a crowdfunding situation that, they pre-sold 25,000 cases, which brought the product back into production. But then in 2017, they started producing back at national levels out of both Vancouver and Montreal.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't know. I guess last week it made it back down here. It's here. It's in these pretty much like the original bottles. These bottle shapes are pretty iconic. The like teardrop.
Oh my god,
bottle.
so iconic.
And the interesting thing, here's another piece of their timeline. Came out in 87. In 93, hits annual sales of $155 million. And that time period, 87 to 93, does that not...
That's it.
Okay, so as an example of what I'm talking about from the Wikipedia, it then goes on to say, in 1996, hostile acquisition pursuit of Sunripe Products Limited initiated. Like, what the fuck does that mean? The word hostile is in there, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, 2001, founding management exits. Okay, anyway, it's a pretty wild ride. But these are looking great. I'm excited to dive in. I'm glad they're here. I think they're definitely trying to recapture the crown, because they do try to stake some claim on being like the OGs of, I think they see themselves as a non-soda beverage, but they clearly are.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, how do we do this? Because wild cherry and blackberry either need to be at the front of the game or the end of the game, to me, because those are two that we have recollections of.
Yes.
Do we like kick off with like wild cherry?
Yeah,
or
that sounds
do
good.
Okay, let's do that.
I think, what if we went wild cherry, peach, strawberry, blackberry?
Wild cherry. Ooh. Be careful with these, by the way, opening them. They're very fizzy. Wild cherry, peach. Then what?
Strawberry, blackberry.
And then country raspberry?
Oh, country raspberry. I forgot. I'm missing one from my fridge. I got to go grab it.
Let's end on mountain blackberry. We'll do.
I think so.
Wild cherry, orange, peach, strawberry, raspberry, blackberry.
Okay, that sounds good. Can you entertain the crowd for a second?
I can hold it down for a minute. In the meantime, while you're gone, I am very curious if Clearly Canadian was ever purchased by Coke, or am I totally pulling that out of my ass? I'm going to find out right now. Coca-Cola. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Bought by Coca-Cola. Is that true? Hard to say. I might be wrong about that. I think I might be wrong about that. Very fun timeline here, though. Maybe I think I just was doing some fact check. I think I might be wrong about the Coca-Cola thing.
It doesn't seem. I'm sure they had. You know what's a wild thing is that this is the same company that brought us Orbits. Do you remember Orbits drink?
The gum.
No, the drink.
No, I don't remember that.
It was produced by the Clearly Food and Beverage Company of Canada, and it was like a lava lamp of drinks. It was, let's see. Now, can I drop this in the chat for you? Probably I can do. It was, it looks like a lava lamp. It's a clear drink, but had little chunky bits of stuff floating in it. Not pulp. Like
that
science
vaguely
pulp.
Rings a bell.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's out of biz. They tried, they failed, and I think took Clearly Canadian down with it temporarily. Wait, so did we say we're going to do strawberry before or after raspberry?
Before. Oh my gosh, this wild cherry smells good. Now,
of these five, which one do you think they didn't have until I ripped into the lower levels of a
Orchard peach,
plasticed up palette?
Orchard peach.
Wrong.
Summer strawberry.
Exactly-mundo.
Interesting. All right, let's take a rip of this. It smells very sweet and cherry, a little bit on the children's Tylenol side, but
yes.
I'm ready.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Nice fizz to it.
Great fizz. Not like equal parts crazy sweet, but also sour. Like, but not sweet.
Yeah. That's pretty nice. The smell is worse than the taste. It tastes like an airhead.
It's like almost, yeah. It's more, it's definitely not as refined as I remembered it, or it almost feels like I wish this one had way less sugar in it.
Yes.
Then I'd be like, oh, it's kind of a fancy sour cherry drink. But now I'm like, I'd have a hard time drinking this whole thing.
Yeah, I might take. It is funny, like they're bringing these back and simultaneously rolling out the mineral water. Like they were out of the flavors of that. They did. So
do they have flavored Clearly Canadian mineral water?
They do. So like at the plain, they had, I think it was a lime, or a lemon lime maybe situation, and one other grapefruit. They were out of those.
Interesting that I understand where their head's coming from. I don't think it's a smart play to get into that game at all. No. It's way too confusing, and you risk so many people buying it and being like, this isn't fucking Clearly Canadian.
Exactly. It was confusing.
Or vice versa. You know what I mean?
Bingo. Yes. Where you're like, especially because you're buying it for nostalgia reasons. I think where they also fucked up is they put it in the iconic teardrop bottle. So that's where you really do risk the confusion. If they just put that in a can and sold
it's still it's still
Risky play.
risky. I think they could have almost come up with a whole new SKU and then in small, made by Clearly Canadian or something. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean?
Absolutely.
What were they thinking?
I don't know. But we can't help them now. It's
Okay.
too goddamn late. They're already dead.
Let's go to Orchard Peach, but I am going to do a quick palate cleanser. Let's see how their just regular sparkles goes. God, these are fucking bubbly. I will say they're not fucking around with their bubbles. I like that.
Bottled at source in Canada.
That's all right. It's a lot fucking bubble forward. Fun. Kind of reminds me of Topo Chico maybe in that regard.
Truly. But borderline
Okay.
fizzy lifting drink.
All right, let's go on to Orchard Peach.
Bottled the source from the pristine aquifers of Western Canada. Solid. Okay. I don't have high hopes for this one. I would have thrown this one out if I could have brought myself to.
It smells good.
This smells
That's no joke.
That's no joke. This smells like a peach ring.
Or like a peach candle. Okay.
Huh.
I'll give them this. A very similar experience to the wild cherry. Again, really sweet, but also not sweet at the same time. I don't know how they're doing that.
They got a tartness on the end.
Yeah.
But it's not feeling bad, you know? Oh, I wonder, I mean, there are weirdly like no ingredients in these. Compared
Similar,
to
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
water, pure cane sugar, natural vegan flavor, and citric acid. That's it.
Yeah. You know, this is better than I thought it would be. At the same time, though, again, and as a kid, I was pounding these. I would have a hard time getting. I'm thinking now, like, I think I would have a hard time finishing any of these. Like, imagine
Yeah.
getting one of these with lunch.
That's what I was trying to think about. Because, like, even like a Big Red or a Baja Blast, right? Those things are fucked up. People shouldn't be drinking those. But when you're getting them with, like, a rack of ribs or a Crunchwrap Supreme, right?
Yeah.
That food is so salty that the extreme yang of the sweet, of the pure sugar, is like the hit you need. I'm not sure where this comes into play.
Yeah, that's such a good point. All right, let's move on. I'm going to palate cleanse.
Yeah, especially if that peach, I feel like it's going to linger.
Okay. Summer Strawberry. The new kid on the block.
The mineral water solid.
Here we go. Whoa. They're really coming with the aromas on these. Not for good or for bad, but they're just like, all of these are packing a fucking punch.
Yes.
This is very strawberry on the nose.
Oh.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
They got a lane. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
This is not how I would have remembered it, but
You said it. These all have a tartness, and that is so it explains why it was unique at the time. Right?
they tasted like this.
You had seltzer, which as a kid you fucking hate. It's disgusting.
No, fucking get garbage.
But and then you got soda, sure. This is more dynamic than either of those things. You know, if you had a grape soda or a strawberry crush, and then you had this. This would taste like a real strawberry, I think, a little bit, if you're 8.
And it's like one of my kids like strawberries, but is like, I hate fake strawberry tasting stuff.
Oh, okay.
And I know exactly what they mean, right?
Yeah.
This isn't really that. This,
No,
you know
no.
what I mean?
I would love to know what they think of this. Like if it's threading the needle for them or not. I think that would be.
You think the bubbles will stay overnight if I?
Well,
cap
yeah,
it up?
he's got the
Maybe.
screw top. I was going to bring that up. This is like, oh my God, I've never been more burpy. We're only like 4 sips in. Gerb. Yeah, I'm just seeing this screw top on here. I'm like, why are more people not doing the screw top?
Yeah.
It must have something to do with the reusability of the bottles or something else.
How much were they selling these for these days?
Like $2.50 a pop.
I really wonder what they were back in the day.
Yeah, and like, yeah, what did they compare to price wise? Was it
Yeah.
like buying a bottle of Coke if you could find one?
Yeah.
He's $1.09.
Kim with a great comment. I'm wondering what a Canadian's take is on a clearly Canadian. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they had them, the whole time, constant access.
All right, let's go into raspberry.
All right.
This is not shaking out how I thought, but interesting. Okay, country raspberry. Nice.
I don't love the smell on this one.
I think it smells fine. A little medicinal, kids' medicine-y, but
Reminds me of scratch and sniff stickers. If I'm also going to go back to a certain time and place,
okay.
like rose ones or something. Oh.
This one would be close to my favorite if it had slightly less sugar and slightly less what I'm going to call slime. There is like a
Oh.
viscosity issue that I wish it was a little thinner, if that makes sense. And then I think this would be a real winner.
Yes. I think probably the best flavor so far.
The classiest of the bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Almost reminds me of what are those Italian cans that have the foil wrapper top
Oh
on
yeah,
them?
a San Pellegrino. Their sodas. Yeah.
Yeah, not that I've ever even know if they make a raspberry one, but in my mind, if they did make a raspberry one, it would taste like this.
Yes. Yes. Man. Also, just noticed on the bottle, they're using spring water from Whistler.
That's cool.
Blade.
That's very cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Fucking A.
Got a palate cleanse on this one before the final. It's strange. Strange flex. Like if there was something we were sending up there called Absolutely American,
Yeah,
who's taking it?
that's really funny.
Thank you.
All right, let's take you back to your childhood here. Mountain blackberry.
Man. All right. Smells good.
Haven't
Subtle
had that
smell.
many blackberry drinks in my time.
That's why. It's a rare flavor, but I know what a blackberry tastes like.
Ooh, interesting.
You know? It's light on the nose. Easier going than the rest of the bunch.
Okay.
Huh.
Do you remember it like this at all?
Yeah, and I think it still tastes good, but I do think now the acidity of the bunch is warping my view of it. You know? Like,
I could see that.
It's not as it's not hitting quite as like just sweet goodness as I remember it. Oh, still pretty nice though. I think this one does. If I had a nice sandwich with this, that'd be all right.
Interestingly enough, I feel like the order we did them, they kind of kept getting better, sort of. I got to circle back and just see if I'm getting more used to the type of ride this is. But I really want to kind of figure out my faves.
And these were all singlets. You couldn't even buy like a 4-pack of this or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Cherry is nice.
I'm going back to cherry.
That's a surprise for me.
I definitely see why I would have liked the cherry as a kid if this was the same formulation.
The peach one tastes like fried chicken skin to me right now.
Oh, yeah, that one's very weird after having the other ones. Okay. This is how I rate them.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom of the pack, peach.
Sure.
Then wild cherry. Then strawberry. Then mountain blackberry. And then at the top, I'm putting raspberry. Yeah.
Oh. Raspberry's a nice revisit. I'll say that. Dang. I think I'm going to go peach, strawberry, wild cherry, raspberry. And I'm still going to ride for blackberry. It's
I love
unique. It tastes nice. It's hitting all right, you know?
Wait, are you going the exact order we did, but in reverse?
No, not quite. I knocked.
What did you?
I
Oh,
knocked
peach. You
peaches
switched around
first,
peach.
and
Yeah,
then and strawberry. I bumped wild cherry up
Oh,
to the number
okay,
3
sorry.
spot. Actually, you know what?
Yeah.
No, I could almost put cherry second. And shit,
Second.
raspberry might be better than the blackberry one. Hang on a second.
The raspberry's fucking good, dude. You hear a ghost or something? You look spooked.
I am spooked. It looked like a light just went out, but there's no light behind me. Oh. Something moves in the shadows. The raspberry's fucking good.
Yeah, the raspberry's the one.
Okay. I think you're right. I'm scared.
Take it easy, though.
You're
You don't
right.
need any more of these.
Cherry. So the top 3 is then going to be cherry, blackberry, raspberry. Yeah.
I love it.
Wow. A surprise. Surprise around every
was-
corner.
That really was. And you know what? Being on the other side of this, I'm happy for them. And I hope only good things for Clearly Canadian. And I hope management, maybe someone that got kicked out is back in the saddle now. Who knows?
Who could
Maybe
say?
this is a good chapter for them. I'm wishing them the best, officially.
You have our salutations, our best wishes,
Ooh.
our fondest regards.
Yeah.
Clearly Canadian. Good golly.
Good
It's
God.
gassy business, though.
Let's do that part of the show. Oh my goodness. It's one of my favorite parts of the show.
Brian's question.
When we started this show 5 years ago, my brother-in-law Brian sent us 100 questions. Then we rebooted the show. He sent us 100 more, and we've been chipping away at those questions. And we definitely are gonna get knee deep in some Brian's questions on the Bonanza on April 4th at 4 p.m. PST. April 2nd. April 2nd, 4
Sunday.
p.m. PST. Sunday, April 2nd, 4 p.m. PST. 7 p.m. EST.
live
just got,
elsewhere.
like, a
You're on
sore
your own.
throat all of a sudden.
Yeah,
very weird.
They are acidic, I think.
Yeah, something.
They also drank
like, all
less
of a
than
sudden.
one. You know, one total Bev.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too.
So that's pretty powerful stuff.
Something's weird. Yeah, that's weird. What's this week's Brian's question?
Number 43.
Wow.
What is the best airplane drink, and do you trust airplane ice?
Okay.
Interesting.
I have answers.
Mm-hmm.
Bloody Mary is always fun.
Sure.
Lately, we've talked about this on the show before. Ginger ale, always great.
Mm.
And then I also throw in, I like a classic Coca-Cola up there in the sky. Those would be my top 3. Sometimes I'm getting water. What is the deal with the ice? There is something about the ice, right?
Yes.
What is the deal with the ice?
When I hear about, when he's asking, do I trust it? What phrasing, what power Brian has in his questioning? Because I never thought about if I trust it or not.
But
He's
there's like a
asking,
thing
is
about
it
it.
clean? Yeah, it is, because it's the ice with the hole in the middle. It never, they won't not give it to you.
Okay, do you want to hear the real reason you should never get ice on an airplane?
Yes.
Do you?
Well, I guess I'll just finish by saying,
Okay.
I guess I could say I trust it because I don't think I've ever not gotten it. They force it on you. They just hand you the cup full of ice, whether you want it or not. Even if they give you the whole can, they'll still give you a cup of ice. But they do it.
I mean, you got to just assert yourself.
Oh God, I'll try.
Okay, here we go.
I'll try.
Bacteria abound. 60 samples of ice cubes taken from a variety of ice makers, domestic and industrial, were shown to contain 52 different bacteria strains of most of them considered pathogens, according to a 2017 study in the Annals of Microbiology. The good news, whiskey, vodka martinis, peach tea, tonic water, and soda are reportedly adept at reducing or eliminating those nasty bugs. Be sure to stick to one alcoholic drink and minimize your consumption of sugary drinks.
Why?
2, planes aren't required to be cleaned. You'd think that planes would have to adhere to a rigorous disinfecting schedule since they host a large rotating population. This might be a little dated. I sure hope they clean it more. Germs hide on tray tables and seat pockets. Ice trays are rarely disinfected. The water may be filthy.
God,
Even though the EPA blew the whistle on airlines to pump water free of fecal bacteria in October 2011, research in 2018 found that the water inside tanks on airplanes, which are sometimes used to make the ice, were loaded with bacteria. Oh, good God.
Jesus Christ.
Ice can give you the runs. I don't like any of this.
Okay, I accept that. I'm not sure why we have to stick to one alcoholic beverage or steer clear of sugary drinks. Man, I chew that ice because I can't not, because it doesn't melt in time. And then you're just sitting there. There's nothing to do. I don't like the idea of it spilling on me, so I'll usually just eat it.
Yeah. Wait, can I say something from a flight attendant?
Yeah.
One flight attendant admits that her decision to stay away from ice has to do with sanitation. Between ice scoops, I'll probably touch a seat, a Coke can, my tablet to charge someone for a drink, their credit card, a tray table. So basically,
Holy
my hand
shit.
snatches up all those lovely germs and then goes back into the ice drawer to pick the scoop back up and do it all again.
Lord.
That resonates to me.
That is gnarly. Yes, because absolutely, they are running cards. They haven't figured that out yet. They could be
in the hand, yeah. It's just like the
contactless.
hand is touching the ice when they go
Yes,
in, right?
of course. They're using the cups half the time, right? They're just sticking the cup in there. There's no scoop at all.
Oh, God.
Brian, you fucked us.
Okay, that's good to know.
For my money, I like a club soda.
Really?
Yeah. I keep it simple up there.
Is a club soda? Oh yeah, that's just seltzer,
It's just
right?
seltzer water. And you know what I had recently was they had the True Lime packets. Do you know about these things?
No.
It's little like dehydrated crystals of lime juice. And
Oh.
it's made of real lime juice. It just, crystallized for somehow. And I think I first got it. I got like a vodka soda or something. And they handed me the packets. And it was delicious. And one of my children really likes lime seltzer. So I made him a lime seltzer with it too.
Boom.
Just a little dip will do it. Those were awesome.
That's
I don't know if everybody's doing that, but it's pretty solid.
Fucking A. Well, Brian,
Did
fantastic
us dirty.
question. And we'll get more. And yeah, I got to remember not to do that ice thing. I feel like I remember hearing sort of vaguely about that, but now I got to keep that in my brain because that don't sound good to me. I don't want that.
Yeah, no ice.
No ice, please.
Honestly, most of the time, I don't even care about the beverage, especially post-COVID. I'm just bringing my own water bottle. I'm sipping off of that if I need to. And I'm usually not even getting a beverage. It's usually more hassle than it's worth.
I feel you. Well, on that note, JoJo, gang, Bevheads, we will be back on April 2nd at 4 p.m. PST. And hopefully we're going to go out with a overflowing, fizzy splash? Explosion.
Bang?
Explosion.
Explosion.
Yeah, we love you guys, and this really has been such a blast, and we'll save much more of this for our blowout.
Next time.
But yeah, that's all I got. What about you, JoJo?
Everybody's enjoy this March weather, and we'll see you in April. And
Go fuck yourself.